Hi guys, it's Carol. How are you? I'm pretty good. Let's go back to that $9 expenditure. I was just so flabbergasted that of the 119 people it could be that looked me up was my ex-husband. It's just a hoot. Now let me tell you, he and I started dating when we were 15. We got married when we were barely 18. First of all, nobody at 18 years old, probably most people, should not be choosing a life partner at that stage of their life. On top of that, we were 18 with a middle age of about 12. we had no business getting married, but we did. And then we were married for 2 years, and he divorced me. And we were divorced for a year or so, and then we remarried. I was determined. I had made those vows, and I was determined. So we got remarried. And then after 19 years, with that year off for good behavior, we divorced again. I divorced him this time. If anything, he's still very annoyed that I divorced him. Somebody said maybe he still has feelings for me. No. Oh, he has feelings, all right, but they're not what you're thinking. No. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's good to our kids. He hasn't robbed any banks or anything like that. Doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink, nothing. He's a good guy. We just did not get along. We did not get along. But that's all water under the bridge now. Don't look back. That's not the direction you're going. He's an okay guy. We just have no business being married. We're more like a brother and sister that fight a lot. But when I paid my $9 and saw his name come up, he has an unusual name, a very Anglo name, and we grew up in New Mexico where we were the minority in town. Most everybody was Hispanic, so there was no denying that is exactly who that was. I mean, there was nobody else with that name that I ever heard of. I was just flabbergasted because why? We have 4 kids. If he ever asks them anything about me, and he does, they tell him. We know everything there is to know about each other. So I was just flabbergasted that that's who I paid $9 to see who checked on me. And that made me think about when I was a little kid, early elementary school age. Back at the 4th of July, I told you I had a brother, he's passed away now, 16 years older than me. And when I was in, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd grade, maybe, kind of like Rhett's age, he took my mom and my sister and I to Arizona to see my mom's sister. She was my favorite aunt, and he took us from the little town we lived in New Mexico to Tucson. And that is where we went to a big stadium, I guess at the university, I don't know, and we saw professional fireworks, which I did not even know existed. So this was a huge, big deal to me. Well, anyway, on the way home from Tucson, he took us to Tombstone, Arizona. Now, I have subs in England, Australia, New Zealand, India, Canada. I think those are all the places outside of the United States that I know of. So you may not know about Tombstone. Someday I'll do a video about the little bit I know about Tombstone. But Tombstone was like one of the last old West towns. The gunfight at the OK Corral happened there. It actually did not happen at the OK Corral. It happened 6 doors down, but that's how it was in the movie. Uh, I'll do a video about Tombstone. But anyway, it's an old West town. It's still inhabited. I think about 1,000 people still live there. But at one time, it was much, much larger when it was, I'll do a video. I was going to tell you about it, but I'll just do a video. Anyway, Tombstone's an old West town. Has a lot of Western memorabilia, and they have a stagecoach, and they have the reenactment of the gunfight at the OK Corral every day, and you know, it's a touristy place. Well, I was a little kid, like Rat, when we went there. The only thing I remember about Tombstone, and the only reason I know that I ever was there, was because we went, and I don't know if it was in a museum or where it was, but there was this machine you could put a nickel in and see something. So my brother gave me a nickel. I don't know what I expected. I think I probably expected, at that time I had one of those Viewmaster things that you put the little circle thing and it's got all the little photographs on it, and you click it and it goes from one animal to the next or something. I imagine I thought that's what it was. Anyway, he gave me a nickel and I put the nickel in there, and a nickel at that time was a lot of money to me. You know, still is, but that was you know, I never had nickels. That was something in its own self. Put a nickel in this machine, and what it was a peep show of a burlesque dancer, scantily clad for that time, you know, from the 1800s. I was so annoyed. I did not like spending my nickel on that. And that little machine was called a Nickelodeon. Nick at Night did not invent Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, that word is based on the nickel, 5 cents, and Odeon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's a Greek word that means a roof-covered theater. Odeon. So the two words together, Nickelodeon, meant a nickel theater. This was in the 1800s, or maybe early 1900s. I think Nickelodeons were a thing in the early 1900s. Anyway, then in 1949, a popular song was Music, Music, Music. Now, I can't sing, but I'm going to give it a go. Put a nickel in the... Put a nickel... Well, I don't even know the words. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. That's the song. I was so indignant that that's what I got for my nickel. I was annoyed. Well, that's how annoyed I was that I paid $9 and his name popped up. I had these 3 girlfriends that I ran around with in high school that I am no longer in touch with. Well, one of them has died. This little town where we grew up in, right after the war, there was a big building boom of little bitty cracker box houses, probably 900 square feet or less. That's the kind of home I grew up in, and the size home that one of my girlfriends grew up in. But her parents had built a room all the way across the back. And it was like a huge big bedroom. And every weekend, her mother would let us girls all spend the night there in that room. The best time of my life was in that room. We had more fun. We just had so much fun. We played games and stuff like that. You know, we were pretty innocent kids, even in high school. One time, somebody had a Ouija board. And so we started playing with this Ouija board until we scared ourselves to death. And we all said, "Did you move it? Did you move it?" And everybody would say, "No, I didn't move it. I didn't move it." Scared ourselves to death. But anyway, that's the story about why I was so annoyed. Just like that Nickelodeon. It was not what I expected. I expected it to be one of those 3 girls that I had been friends with. But my ex-husband's an okay guy. He's good to our kids. And no, no, he doesn't want to get back together with me. We were married for 19 years with that 1 year off for good behavior. And then he was married to somebody else. I don't know how many years. I don't know. And then he married the woman he's married to now, who is a very nice woman. The middle woman, I didn't appreciate her being my kid's stepmother, but the current one, he's been married to her probably longer than we were married, because, or right at it, I mean a long time. And she's good to him. She's good to my kids, which is more important to me, and she's good to my grandkids. We consider her their grandma too, my son's children and my daughter's 2 boys. We consider her their grandma, just like me. So all my grandkids have 3 grandmas. She's a nice woman. I really like her, so that's okay. And in between wives, my ex-husband and I used to talk all the time. It's not like we had a nasty divorce like Johnny Depp or anything. We are civil to each other, I'll say that. But anyway, I'm never going to say anything bad about my ex-husband or his current wife, because my kids and grandkids watch this, and I don't want to say bad things about anybody. You know, nobody's perfect. I wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect. That's in the past, so never mind. But that's the first thought I had after I paid that $9, and then his name popped up as who checked on me. I thought of that Nickelodeon back in Tombstone, Arizona, probably in 1962. I don't like surprises. I'm always disappointed, usually. Okay, guys, that's all I know for tonight. I saw a recipe on Pinterest that I'd never heard of before that I may make in the next day or 2. It was called a tomato and cracker salad. If you've ever had a tomato and cracker salad, let me know what you thought about it. Okay, I'm going to go now. Oh my gosh, it was a hot day. I think the high was, well, I know at 6 p.m. it was still 98. I don't know what the high was. At 8 o'clock, I discovered my milk was sour, so Casey and I and the dogs drove to our little neighborhood Walmart market to get some milk because I wanted to have cereal for dinner and go to bed. Well, on the way home, we passed by a sign at a church that said it was 104 at about 8:15 at night. I'm tired of summer now. My sister's tired of summer too. We've had summer. We're ready to go back to winter. For the next 10 days, 98 is supposed to be our lowest temperature. 108 on next Tuesday is supposed to be the highest. So summer's not over yet for us. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Dogs and I are going to go to bed. I'll talk to you in the next video. Leave me a comment and tell me something, anything. Bye. Oh, wait. Thank you guys so much for responding about me asking, were you sick and tired of Walmart hauls? Because I think I always buy the same thing. They probably are sick and tired of seeing this. And about the cooking things. You were so sweet and so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Every time I do one of those videos, I think, oh my Lord, they realize I'm the dullest person on earth and have nothing to talk about. But you all were so kind. Thank you very much. I'm just totally insecure. That's my problem. I'm insecure. But it was nice hearing from you that it's okay for me to continue on. Okay, bye. Good night. Wait, I wasn't done. You know I'm never done. I meant to tell you that the Nickelodeon was a metal machine of some kind, and it had a little peephole, kind of like the peephole in your front door. But anyway, you leaned over and put your eye against this peephole to see what was playing, what video type thing was playing on the inside. That's why I said it was a peep show. I have a sub who's blind, and I forget I need to really describe things for her. So anyway, that's what that was. It was a machine to put your nickel in, put your eye against the metal thing to see what was going on. And this is a picture that Taylor and Casey wanted to take for me. They went to an exercise class one morning last week at a lady's house, and this is a picture of sunflowers. I don't know what that red plant is called, but anyway, of some pretty sunflowers. Taylor wanted me to have that picture for y'all. Okay, this is it.